Hello, Gemini. Happy New Year's to you. We're now at the end of January, and I'm actually going to give you a bit of January and your full February reading now. So, thank you so much for your patience. This year has been full of things happening, and so thank you if you were one of those waiting for this reading. Everything's great over here. If this is our first time together, so nice to meet you. I treat my readings as healing sessions. We're going to sometimes play into, I understand that not everybody that watches really resonates with the planetary placements and what that really means for the reading, but a lot of what I do is tied to planetary movements, and so I'll bring it up as it's relevant. So for right now, let's see what energies is Gemini dealing with. Today is the 18th for the rest of December. So, excuse me, January. So the rest of January, what energies is Gemini dealing with? Okay, so Two of Cups, Two of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so it's been about 3 weeks since I've seen you guys, since I've talked to you. Ending January, you might still be undecided about somebody, is what it looks like, and you're maybe more focused on your work right now or your personal development. It looks like a struggle between the two, a struggle to keep the balance between the two. And it's leaving you with this Four of Cups energy. So obviously you're struggling with this. Let me see. What is it about this relationship? Okay, Nine of Cups in reverse and the Fool in reverse. So you could be making decisions not out of love based on the way this looks to me right now. So we're talking about the end of January. I'm in Houston, Texas right now. Comment below where you're from. I'm curious. I'm in Houston right now, and I'm freezing. So I'm like cuddled up on the couch for y'all. All right, so this relationship versus what you got going on personally. There's some struggle, there's some internal battle, and it's leaving you feeling like crap. Out comes the Nine of Cups and the Fool. What does this tell me? That your alignment right now is muddy. You don't get to this by being clear and concise when your actions and your words line up. So I'm curious to see what Gemini needs to tie up in the last couple weeks of this month before February begins, and then we'll get into your February reading. The muddiness is your indecisiveness. Your decisions are coming from a place of perhaps neglect, something you've just sort of put on the back burner. This could very well be this person. I'm getting that it is whatever relationship you're dealing with, you're very much putting it on the back burner, and it's leaving you from this to this. You know, you're kind of like, you're not happy when you're not with them. But Gemini, I don't think that you're bringing to the table, to this union, this relationship, what you want to bring to the table. And so that may be why you're focused on your work, on maybe money and material things, and providing or whatever you're bringing to the table is because this isn't lining up the way it's leaving you feeling like Four of Cups, your indecisiveness. And what is Gemini not understanding about this indecisiveness? So we want to start February on a good note. Of course, we want this whole year to be on a good note. So things that Gemini is finding to be an obstacle. Okay, so obviously more work, more material things. The only reason this is in reverse is because I feel like this is what needs to... This is obviously what needs to be conquered. So you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and you have the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm not going to say that you're wrong for this indecisiveness. Like you should always put your self-priorities before anything that you do, relationship, work. But if you're not confident in your abilities, in your skill level, you may be coming to those terms right now, and you may be on that wave of I need to start a program of some sort, or I need to go back to school, do whatever it is you need to do. Maybe you need to just put boundaries on your work so that you can balance your relationship and your family and not feel pulled in so many directions, because you have a lot of great things. The Four of Cups isn't a lose-all card. This is just you not realizing how much you have to gain because you're just kind of stuck in the clouds. Like, there's a lack of clarity. For me, what I have to tell to you, Gemini, that clarity for the end of the month of January is become confident, become decisive, and get your priorities straightened out. Otherwise, it's going to be Nine of Cups in reverse instead of Four of Cups, which is just magnified, right? So, this is very much a matter between what's going on versus what you feel. And what's going on is a direct result of how you're feeling. So if you are feeling torn, you just need to realize your focus is balance. So find your balance before the end of the month, before February gets here. Make that a goal to understand what you've been doing isn't working for whatever reason that personally may be for you, and know that you can upgrade your self every day that you wake up. So don't hold on to it, because we're coming into a whole different month. Like, let's see what we have to look forward to in February. And maybe it'll tell us why that indecisiveness needs to come to an end. Something to look forward to. Okay, so beginning energy for the beginning of February. Energies for Gemini, beginning of February. Emperor in reverse, Eight of Cups, and the King of Wands. So this is telling me that you are going to do the self-reflection that you need to do to gain whatever clarity it is. If you have not, realize it's going to be a big factor in wherever direction you choose to go there out, because these are how the cards lay out. And that's really what you're giving energy to. I mean, the King of Wands, this is fire energy, this is passion, this is the power of creativity. And so you can't be creative when you're in an indecisive frame of mind. And that's going to require some discipline on your end. This being in reverse, let's talk about this. So the Emperor is time and discipline. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Saturn in the past videos, if this is our first time together. We've talked about Saturn and how its effects kind of came in like with Jupiter, like good cop, bad cop. And it's something that isn't just seasonal. It's not just when the planets are moving a certain way. I mean, these are life lessons that give us foundation to move on successfully in the future. So really get your values and your priorities straightened out in these next couple weeks, because this is telling me you're really walking towards something powerful, your own creation. And that's going to take some discipline. Okay, so let's talk about that's a great way to start the month. So what is Gemini's? Okay. That was the King, or that was the Knight of Cups. So what is Gemini's? I'm just going to keep shuffling. Gemini's obstacles for the next month. Let's talk about obstacles so we can talk about overcoming them. This is flipped. Okay. There's balance. That is the Two of Pentacles. That's absolutely the balance, especially in your material world. So as above, so below. I mean, getting your mind right and doing disciplined actions towards what you're passionate about and being conscious of what you're putting energy into. Okay, so what you're pouring, this makes sense to me now. What you're pouring your energy into, that's your water, right? Your water is your heart and soul. So this Knight of Cups is calling you to use that energy with your discipline. I imagine to create something. I imagine to create something. That was the World. But what comes out with these two? Okay, this is your blockages. This is the importance of aligning your priorities, like I said, in the end of January, because when you have momentum like the King of Wands, in the Eight of Cups, in the Emperor, when you have this kind of energy, you can't allow, think of it as a dam, okay? You don't necessarily want, it'll feel scary if that breaks, but understand how much you're holding back. Think of it, okay, as a dam, as if you want the water to flood out, because Once you remove those, so much is going to pour into, like this waterfall, so much is going to pour into your life. But these must fall out first. Okay. It may feel like a slippery slope, and you might want to hold on to these swords and stay in this, oh, but I don't know, I don't understand, I'm just not ready, like what? No, like let the swords fall where they will, because whatever you have coming is so much better. That's just what you guys are going through right now, or will be in February. Okay. Advice for Gemini, aside from this, is, okay. Also, don't settle. We know you've come a long way. We know you've accomplished a lot. We know that you're really good at what you do. And what comes to mind when this is in reverse is laurels rested upon. What I'm getting right now is what, as an air sign, Geminis, as air signs, you can tend to let those swords become too heavy in your mind. Swords are going to represent your thoughts. A lot of you are overthinkers. A lot of us are. Don't beat yourself up about it, but don't fake your confidence when you're the only one watching. That integrity behind what you're doing is essentially what you're going to reap. So do you want this money tree to be shaken upside down and lose all that because you didn't follow through? Maybe you let your overthinking get to you and you just overwhelmed yourself. Mind you, this is what's bottom of the deck right now is the devil. Things can sneak up on us like that. Sometimes we just get complacent or we overthink so much and we're just like, fuck it all together. And we just kind of put a bow on whatever we've done and call it finished. And that's not something you want to do when you have such a plethora of abundance in all areas of your life coming to you. The last thing you want to do is settle. I love you guys. I'm not being mean. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't be cutting corners because now is not the time to be cutting corners. Yeah, I like this. Okay. So this could take up the month of February. It's going to seem like it just came and went as it is. I mean, that's kind of how January has been for me so far. Mind you, it's only the 18th, and let's not allow time to elude us. But what can we do? What can we do about that relationship? Because I know a lot of you are in a relationship, or you're about to be, or you're in a situationship, as some of you may call it. I want to know what's going on with that in February, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. So I'm not going to let you go without that. Okay, so this other person, this Two of Cups energy that was end of the month, January. How is it looking for Gemini? Okay. In February, so you could be in a really secure place, but this Hanged Man energy is telling me I need more. I need more of this because this is telling me that you're really secure in this. As a Sagittarius sun, I see this as a little daunting. The Hanged Man energy with the Four of Wands, it's very safe, but this is like, it's too safe. This is the resting. This is the settling. This is settling. This is what settling looks like in tarot. So I have a feeling that this being the bottom of the deck, this person has you seeing things differently. Maybe they've turned you onto something without them knowing, that you're either really intrigued by or you're really like, now I know what I don't want. I'm imagining Gemini as like, what have I gotten myself into? Kind of, is this what I really want? Because you go from the Four of Wands to the Two of Wands, you're reflecting. Okay, look at him. He's reflecting, he's questioning, and that's not always a positive thing. I mean, I don't want to say it's a negative thing. That's not always the most liberating thing, to be in a relationship where you feel stuck and like this is kind of as good as it gets. So okay, and the Tower card. I always get confused. Okay, the Tower card in reverse. So yeah, this is your relationship as you knew it is kind of not going to be the relationship it's been. It's literally being put to the test. It's being put to the test of time, and there's a lot of falling out. I mean, it's just, I'm not surprised the way the rest of your cards are looking for February, but this could absolutely be one of your blocks. This looks to me like a block, especially with the Tower card. But see, the reason I think this is really positive, even in reverse, is because this is a change within you. This is you sort of waking up. This is you not settling, which I like. I like that, Gemini. So this reading looks very much like a Tower card reading to me. This is the wiping clean of something and the fresh start of something new. And if you treat it like such, it will very much feel good and balanced. But if you do not recognize it for what it is, it could very well be a huge mess. And so moving forward from this, let's see. Let's say we don't settle, Gemini. Let's say we don't hold on to past pain and regret and things that we can never change anyway. And we just move forward with our discipline and our passion, and we motivate ourselves and find inspiration in healthy ways. What does that look like for us? How are we going to end the month of February? End of February energies for Gemini. Given advice is taken. End of energies. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but I feel like this could very much mean you're going to have a whole new set of options by the end of the month. So whatever you're tripping about right now in January that you can't seem to decide, I'm telling you, if you just keep choosing to love yourself and love the people around you, even if that means getting away from that, so long as you keep that balance of love in your life, don't be loving other people more than you love yourself. Don't be loving yourself to the point where you can't respect another, you know what I'm saying? Balance. You're going to be making decisions like, I call them like first world decisions. Like, it's not going to be about, do I choose to value myself today, or do I choose to subject myself to something unhealthy? It's, do you want, you know, like the vegan breakfast sandwich, or like some other breakfast dish that yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, you're going to be faced. We're faced with a million decisions every day. And Gemini, I'm here to tell you that where you've been indecisive, you're still making decisions, even now. But those decisions aren't working out for you unless you're consciously using your discipline and your knowledge. And basically, your overthinking becomes aligned. And so your decisions are coming from a more truthful place than they were. So you're going to come full circle. You're going to come full circle with this, because there's lessons that you need to prime yourself with in order to keep making good decisions, to stay on that alignment, in that passion. It doesn't look to me like this person is doing much for you. I don't know what you're doing for them. I don't know what they mean to you. But right now, you are going through a massive energetic shift. And to hold on to those blocks that come along with them, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because you're going to find yourself back at this same place. So is it for nothing? Or have you gained knowledge of self and wisdom? So when you're faced with the same situations, you can handle them like you need to. Maintaining your value. Yep, that's what the next 6 weeks look like. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And like, subscribe, share with a friend if this helps you. You can find me on Instagram at Jalen Gelato. That is the best way to get a hold of me for personal readings right now. Like I said, I treat these readings like personal healing sessions. We actually don't even have to use the cards. There's other things we can use. There's other tools that we can use to divinate what it is that you need to hear for your specific problems. So, or just guidance. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a awesome January and February, and you'll hear from me earlier than you heard from me this year. All right. Thank you. Bye.